So, uh, yesterday, I got a text from a old coworker of mine, and she teaches at Marquette now. So instead of texting her back, I called her or whatever, and like she's one of the like finest people I've met in my lifetime, and she's Caucasian, and she has her husband, her two kids. Like her two kids are gonna grow up to be great fucking human beings. Like for real. I mean, the way they parent and her ideas about life and how she looks at people and what she believes in when it comes to equality and all that stuff is fucking outstanding. And I guess that's one of the reasons why when we were working together, we became close and we could have these conversations. And I was talking to her about the protest or whatever, and then like the protest that happened here yesterday in Milwaukee slash Tulsa about the shooting of a 17-year-old at the mall. And this is gonna sound mean, or a motherfucker might try to call me a coon, but anybody that knows me know it. Every situation isn't like every situation. Anybody with a brain would know that. So, every domestic violence situation is not like every domestic violence situation. There's variables and shit that happens that comes into equations when things happen. So, every police shooting isn't like every other police shooting or police murdering. Let's just go with minorities. So, there's consequences to your actions. And that's what we need to realize and start being fucking accountable for. Do we know that everybody and their mother knows that there needs to be fucking police reform. Everybody and their mother knows that there's fucking racism in this fucking country and in the system, and we know there's racism in the fucking police force. We know, everybody knows that. And with that being said, then as human beings, whether black, white, or whatever, sometimes you gotta go by and go out your way to not try to encounter, dealing with racism, if you can, when it comes to human beings face to face. The kid had a gun at the mall. Well, people are not talking about that. He had a fucking gun. And he was showing people the gun. So that's why the police was called. Now, this fucking police officer apparently shot and killed 3 or 4 other people. So he shouldn't even be on the force in the first place. In all actuality, outside the kid having a gun at the mall, all this probably could have maybe been avoided if dude wasn't still a police officer. He's African American. But anyways, so I was talking to people, and about the protests, and people was worried about people rioting and looting. Like, motherfucker, it ain't been rioting and looting since like June. Or when all this shit first started, when the protesters first started, it was like, 2 days, some bullshit happened, and we know who the people are who did that. And this is another thing, and this is just not people that's organizing protest. I don't give a fuck where you organize it from. If you're going to organize a protest, you need to make sure when you're organizing that everybody that's joining the fucking protest should be accounted for. Make them sign papers or whatever. So then when some unknown entities show up, everybody can look, who are these motherfuckers? Can you all, we don't, because then it'll get through the shit, because then you point motherfuckers out. So then when you got people doing shit who are not a part of the protesters agitating the situation, you'll be able to point that shit out, and then all this fucking rioting and looting shit into the protesters that's doing it would be, you wouldn't have that issue. But even with that, protesting and marching is not working. This shit is not. I'm sorry, we're going to keep doing it and this and that because people want to be non-violent. I'm not saying violence is the issue, but it might end up being. But protesting and marching is not working. It's not. Because you would think that after George Floyd murder, that at least for the rest of the year, we would not have any more incidents with cops and killing of minorities, unarmed minorities, or whatever fucking reason, you would think that at least for the rest of the year, that wouldn't be an issue. But lo and behold, what? How many more police shootings have we had since this? So when I say that protesting and marching isn't working, we got to get rid of the. We keep beating a dead horse, because it's not going nowhere. And I know people don't like to think out the box, and I know people don't like to do shit different because they're so used to doing shit. The shit ain't working, motherfuckers. You doing this shit for social media and to get likes and say the marching and protesting is not working, because you're protesting and marching against the wrong shit. You're marching and protesting to try to get certain police officers kicked off the force. You want to defund police, the police departments and cities, and that's not meaning get rid of the police, you stupid motherfuckers, for the people who sit around like, oh, you're trying to destroy the police. Defunding the police is not getting rid of the whole police force. Stop letting the motherfucking media tell you what the fuck is going on. Our issues are with our fucking government, and voting is not going to change it. Do you understand? Your issue is not with the fucking police department. When it comes to crime and poverty, your issues are not with the motherfuckers who are committing the crimes and living in poverty. It's the fucking government. Our government is corrupt. And we keep going to a corrupt system asking for help. And I'm going to use this analogy just because I think women are more in the forefront and they're doing way more than men are doing these days. And when it comes to standing up. If I was a rapist and I'm out here raping women, it would be asinine for women to come to me asking me for help because they're getting raped. I'm the rapist. You come to me for help, you about to get raped. It's the same thing with our stupid ass government. There would be no protest, which only time we have rioting and looting is when there's protest. If we had equality and people were being treated equal, there would not be any protests. It wouldn't be any LGBTQ community protests. It wouldn't be people with disabilities protests. If our government were doing their job, we would not have protests. Then you won't have rioting and looting. All that shit you hear on the news and the media is bullshit and is stoking the fire. There's no such thing as black and white people. These are labels. When we was kidnapped from fucking Africa, you stupid motherfuckers, were we calling ourselves black? No, we were not. When you Caucasian motherfuckers came over here from wherever fucking country you came from, you were acknowledged as a person from that country. If you were from like South America, I'm a South American. Black and white is a construct to keep this fucking capitalism going and to keep us oppressed as human beings, you stupid motherfuckers. You want to defund some shit, defund the fucking government. That's what needs to get dismantled. We're banging on the wrong fucking doors. We elect people in the office and hope and pray that they do what the fuck they gonna tell us to do. How about, again, American citizens? We draw up the shit that we want. The equality, we put that shit on the table. And any politicians, Democrat or Republicans, are going to hear this and we're going to make it binding. That's who we put in office. And we need to get money in corporate America out of fucking office. America is a business. We are their motherfucking slaves. America's $700 trillion in debt, and ain't no way we gonna pay that money back. And all we do as human beings is continue in this fucking country is to work, while the 1% continues to flourish. Wake up, please. Cause we're not going back to normal. Is that what you motherfuckers waiting for? It's a wrap for that. Rome is burning. America is not the power structure they used to be. And we're about to find that out the hard way.